Hey, Desert Boy here, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about my little trip to the range today. It was an indoor range, but they do allow pistol caliber carbines there, and I really appreciate everybody that's been watching the videos and folks that have subscribed, especially those of you who have been subscribed, going back since I started last year, and all those that are new. And I try to have a wide variety of things, going, covering everything from lever action rifles to like the Scorpion EVO, or Sig Sauer semi-autos, to single action revolvers and double action revolvers, and even Derringer. So I try to have a nice wide variety of things to talk about. So enough about all that. I went to the range today, and ammo being what it is, I probably shot around 60 rounds. I shot probably about 30, I want to say about 20 rounds of 45 Colt. So I took my lever actions, and those of you that I know that have enjoyed watching the lever action videos, I think you've been waiting for a while to see something like that. So I took both my 45 Colt Rossi out and my Henry 357 38 carbine that has the red dot and the magnifier and the rail and all that. So everybody seems to like that one. So I thought I'd take a little trip to the range with it. So just in case, just to remind you, this is this nice Henry, right? It's a carbine, holds about 8 rounds. It's pretty heavy. It's about 8 pounds, okay? And it holds 8 rounds. And it's got the nice brass receiver. We can see it's unloaded. There's nothing in there. This scope actually goes to the side. It's a 3x magnifier, and this is a red dot with the Picatinny reel I put on there. So I took that one, and I took this one here, which we can also see is unloaded, and it's a more traditional. The Henry's tube fed. This one has a side gate loader, and this is the Rossi, and and it's one thing about the Rossi, it's fairly light, and it's a very accurate shooter with iron sights. The Henry is a very accurate shooter too, but I did everything offhand. In other words, I was standing up, just supporting him with my arms today. And that Henry is a little bit heavy for that. So, if you're out hunting, it'd probably be nice to have something to rest it on. The other one's a little easier for that, but, taking that into account, I felt like the results were pretty good. I only had a maximum of 20 yards to go with today. I was mainly checking the accuracy on the red dot on the Henry, so I hadn't had it out for a while, and just made a slight adjustment to it because it really was set up more for like 40 to 50 yards, so I adjusted a little bit to one to the right. And the other one, the iron sights were just right on. I mean, the Rossi has really become a lot smoother. It's a little bit ammo finicky, but get the right ammo in it, it's just smooth as can be. So just to give you an idea, I went out there. You'll see in the videos that I started shooting at 20 yards with the Henry, and then what I did is I moved it into, eventually moved into like 10 yards for like 38 caliber rapid fire, I guess you'd call it, or continuous fire. And so the accuracy I felt like was pretty decent. I shot 8 rounds twice at 20 yards, and I shot the other ones at about 8 rounds of the, and then I shot 8 rounds of the Sellier Bellot at about 15 yards. So the 20-yard shots were with 158 grain Aguila semi-jacketed soft point 357 Magnum, and the Sellier Bellot was 357 Magnum semi-jacketed hollow point at 15 yards. And then in the end, then I shot Norma 158 grain full metal jacket at 10 yards, kind of the 10 rounds, and then I shot the 4 rounds of each of the Sellier Bellot and the what's the other one? The Aguila at 20 yards again at a target, just to see what their accuracy would be. And it was a It's kind of one of these targets that, you know, involved making sure you didn't hit something you weren't supposed to. I don't normally show those on camera, but I think you get the idea. And my accuracy was better with I'd say with the Henry than it was with the Sellier Bellot. But I mean, this gun is really kind of set up for that Aguila ammo. It really likes that particular round. So anyway, that's kind of a quick summary of how the shooting went with the 45 Colt. I mean, I shot it at, I shot 5 rounds at, I think it was 10 yards just to kind of warm up. And then I shot, it seemed to me I shot like 10 rounds at yeah, I shot 10 rounds, then again just to kind of rapid fire, see what the accuracy was, if I remember right. And then I shot 20 yards. I shot a target, which I'll show you here. At 20 yards, remember this is all with iron sights, right? So at 20 yards, and I mean it was right on. And this ammo, there's a couple of ammos that likes the Level Revolution 225 grain, which I use a lot of times, but that's what the results look like at 20 yards with just iron sights. And I was shooting this Grizzly 250 grain round nose flat point. It's only about 750 feet per second, but boy, if it's accurate, you know, that's what matters, you know. And that in the Level Revolution, that 225 grain bullet, and it's got kind of similar to the FTX type bullets. Just in case you're wondering the difference between a 45 and a 357 Magnum, right? Let me just set these up here for a second. I don't know whether you can see these right here. Let me see if I can get them. Nope, not quite high enough. Can I get them high enough up? This is a 357 Magnum. That's 125 grain. Hornady critical defense, right? This is a 250 grain round, what do I want to say? I think they call it round nose flat point. Is that what it's called? Yeah, round nose flat point, 750 feet per second. This one here's, you know, well over 1,000. It's a 357 Magnum. So even though the other gun has considerably more power, you don't really. It's pretty darn accurate, you know, and the other one is you know, you got the 45, but it's got a bigger bullet, even though it's going slower. I mean, this is still not going to be any picnic with that. But one thing with the iron sights, I mean, my eye's probably only good for 40 or 50 yards nowadays, maybe a little farther. I guess if you're hunting in the right situation, you had the right ammo, you probably could use even that lead bullet if you're allowed to. Depends on where you're at. But the Hornady Revolution, the Level Revolution would probably be what I would use for something like that. But anyway, had a good time with it. Just wanted to try to get some lever action in there for all of you. Ammo being what it is, I didn't shoot a lot more rounds. Just shooting a 357 that I did. I mean, that's ammo that I just cannot find to replace. I'm finding some 38, but no 38 plus B and no 357. I just happened to stumble on this 45 Colt the other day. I wish I had bought both boxes that were sitting there, but I just bought one. Sometimes I try not to be, you know, overly greedy when I'm picking up ammo. So. You know, I try to think of it as we're all trying to stay accurate and practicing, and that's what we ought to be doing, because you want to be safe and you know, continue to be familiar with your weapons and get out there on the range, because you still need to do that even in the situation that we're in. So anyway, thanks for taking the time. Sorry that was a lot longer than I wanted it to be. Maybe I can split it up into a couple parts or as a separate video. And then I'll make the shooting part separate from this. But that was the range report for going to the range with the Henry and the Rossi. So be safe out there, whatever you're doing. And if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye now.